I'm Turk Strongman at Taranki Ramacharaka. In this video, I commence with my narration of Frank Channing Haddock's The Culture of Courage. Why? Because I perceive an increasing element of fear among the human population. Anxiety, apprehension, jumpiness, easy startlement, worry, apprehension, and fear. Many reasons for it. But fear is destructive and unnecessary. Courage is its most likely counterpart, opposing pole. That is doable with respect to its manifestation, its increase, its development. Courage. That is why. So let's get started. I'm going to omit just maybe 2 or 3 of the opening pages of the book. We'll just take it piece by piece. This could go on and be a long series. I'm uncertain. Let's just see how it goes. Let's get started. Frank Channing Haddock's The Culture of Courage. Excuse me. All beings are in fundamental nature divine. We are here for the purpose of growing to best estate. Every man, woman, and a child in the world is entitled to health, happiness, power. Evil is derangement in individual life induced by individual and world of thought gone wrong. As such derangement, evil is real, but this reality is not necessary or essential, and it may be banished totally and forever. Disease is diseasement of the matter of a body induced by diseasement of soul in a body. The self creates or builds its own body, and the condition of the self determines the condition of the body. In my Power for Success, I have stated what I believe to be the growing conviction in this regard. The sound body is a perfect material expression of the universal forces playing into its field, and its physical character is determined by the psychic character of its owner. In a state of health, all physical movements must necessarily cooperate harmoniously with one another and with the universal forces. What we call mind is a collection of powers organized for use by the self. And these powers are rightly developed only by the good, the true, the beautiful. If the feeling of goodness, or of trueness, or of beauty is deep within the subconscious phase of the self, mind life exhibits as mental health. Mental health is a universal right. The spirit, not to refine on philosophy, is the real self which builds body and may unfold mind. The highest state of the individual, therefore, is religious at the top. This is spirituality. but the only conceivable essential to spirituality is a belief in and an intelligent, truth-using surrender to the white life, conceived in one's own way, for harmony and oneness therewith. Happiness consists in being consciously harmonized with the true, the good, and the beautiful. It is not necessary, however, although it is, of course, better to know these words. The child vibrates with goodness without understanding the name goodness, and so on. Power is personality receiving its own in the realms of life. All things exist for all beings. Such are some of the realities that are being quietly and potently assumed and affirmed today throughout the world. Of course, the language of assertion will vary with each individual, but this is immaterial. The essences affirmed are beyond cavil. Other illustrations may be given, but they would be mere phases of that one breath of new hope and courage that is stirring in every land to spread contagion on mankind of the life which really is. These higher thoughts, however, are of the dawn only. The full day is not yet with us. Shadows still there are, and error, disease, and pain. Why must these false so-called realities remain? Solely because of three things that linger on: false thought, selfishness, fear. And when fear vanishes, replaced by the, as Channing here calls it, white life, selfishness will die as impossible, and thought will no longer be false, for the reason that only truth will be possessed. If the whole world, then, would but thrust out fear and receive the spirit of courage, I do not know any evils that could endure a century. If you who read these pages will but swing up to the white life harmony plane, health, happiness, and power must be yours, as surely as air rushes into a broken vacuum. If you ask, what are the limits of this truth? I answer, I don't know. To speak otherwise would be mere speculation. I affirm the great truth, all things are yours, that you, if stricken through and through with disharmony, may be able to receive all you crave. I may not affirm. Nevertheless, it is permitted to say, launch out in the new thought of life, and receive as you do so whatever is rightly your own, as you are increasingly able to do so. Man has banished many of his fears already. It is not a long run of the centuries since he quaked before the gloom of the forest, the solitude of the hills, the fog of the vast sea, and creating innumerable gods and devils by that wizard of distortion, the imagination, lodged them into every object of existence under and in the heavens. He has gotten rid of these. That when we observe the fear of water, the fear of tornadoes, the fear of lightning, the fear of fire, the fear of disease, the fear of accident, the fear of death, the fear of ridicule, the fear of public opinion, the fear of bankruptcy, the fear of self, the fear for self, the fear of others, the fear of failure, the fear of devils, the fear of a vindictive God, the fear of the future, the fear of a hell. Oh, then we know that the Son of Light is not at this meridian height. We can yet get rid of these also. This is one of the world's tasks. This is your task. If you would make the most of yourself and of life. There is yet very much land to be possessed. No one will possess all of that land in the present stage of existence. Some will be able to claim more than others, but they will err if they assume themselves to be favorites. And the others will do worse than err if they complain, "We, alas, are down on our luck." Be assured of one thing. All may be rid of their fears, and the whole mass of distress induced by fears. All may acquire dauntless, yet serene courage. In that state, if it be of the highest, as it may be, will come to them a peace, a happiness, an influx of buoyancy, a confidence, a sense of well-being, a like of which they have never known. See you in the next video in this series. The Culture of Courage by Frank Channing Haddock. I'm Turk Strongman at Tharanki Ramacharaka. Be well.